Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Harmon. Today I'm here in Seattle, Washington, and right behind me, as you can tell, is the Space Needle. And unfortunately, in 2018, there was a horrific murder that took place right next to the Space Needle. So I'm gonna show you guys where this took place, and along the way, tell you the events of what happened. So let's get into it. Bear with me everyone, as it's super cold out here in Seattle right now. It's like 25 degrees, so I apologize in advance if I sound like I'm shivering or you hear me stutter. It is absolutely cold right now. I mean, there's frost on the ground, for goodness sakes. Anyway, so this story starts on November 4th, 2018. A guy by the name of David Lee Morris was here near the Space Needle, and he was at a Mod Pizza restaurant, which is going to be in this building in front of us. He was here at the restaurant with his on and off girlfriend named Gabrielle and their 4-year-old son. Now, before we get into the actual events of what happened, I just wanted to quickly note that some articles mention David and Gabrielle's son as being 4 years old at the time, and some articles state that he was 5 years old at the time. And so, again, I'm not entirely sure which one of those is correct, but either way, he was a very young child at that time. Now, David and Gabrielle's relationship, as I mentioned, was very off and on again throughout their history together. But a few days prior to them meeting at Mod Pizza, Gabrielle officially ended things with David, and she even obtained a protection order against David to ensure that she and her son were safe. And she had wanted to have David to still have his parental rights, but she just wanted to make sure that she and her son were okay and to have the paperwork in place. Now, David and Gabrielle still decided to meet on that very fateful day, a few days after Gabrielle obtained the protection order. Not entirely sure if he was the one who wanted them to meet or if she was the one who wanted them to meet, but either way, they decided to meet that day. And as soon as they were sitting down together at Mod Pizza, David continued to plead and beg Gabrielle and ask her if they could fix their relationship, if they could reconcile. But Gabrielle refused. David did have a knife with him that he would eventually attack her with, but he decided not to at that particular moment, as he decided to, again, plead one more time with her if she would reconsider staying with him. But as he continued to push her and plead with her, Gabrielle again refused to get back with him, and she ended up excusing herself to go to the bathroom. And when she returned back to their table, that is when David attacked her with the knife he brought. He immediately started stabbing her many times throughout her body. And even as this was happening, employees of the Mod Pizza restaurant and just witnesses jumped into action. They attempted to pull David off of her. One person in particular jumped on David's back as he was swinging the knife around. It was a very chaotic and crazy scene, as you can imagine, very bloody, of course, as well. As David left the restaurant, he was still armed with the knife, and his hands were all bloodied, but he was followed by another civilian who actually had a concealed carry permit and was holding him at gunpoint until the police arrived. Again, David goes to court. His defense attorneys argue for a light sentence, citing that David had PTSD as a former war veteran, and claiming later that David, at the moment of attacking and murdering Gabrielle, they claim that David was thinking that he was trying to save his unit from a bomber. And so essentially they claimed that he was having like a mental episode where he was not in his right mind, where he was thinking he was back in war and trying to save someone. However, the judge did not buy that whatsoever. Some of David's statements made to police right after the murder detail things a little bit differently than what the defense attorneys were talking about. Some of David's statements afterwards were pretty clear and unapologetic, and essentially told police that Gabrielle deserved it. Finally, after a long trial, the judge imposed a sentence of 38 years in prison for David, and calling his crime, his murder of Gabrielle, a horrendous, evil, grotesque crime with many, many victims. And I agree. I think Gabrielle was definitely the main victim, of course, since she was the one who was murdered. But I would say other victims were just those people who witnessed the entire interaction. The random civilians, the employees, of course, David and Gabrielle's young son who was there just witnessing the entire interaction. Just tons of these victims that had to see this entire thing play out. It's just unbelievable and, of course, horrific for everyone involved. All right, guys, so this is obviously not that far from the actual restaurant itself. The Mod Pizza is right there. But a couple of witnesses who witnessed him murder Gabrielle, they chased him down, and one of them had a gun. And if I can try, I'll insert a video clip of the interaction. Someone filmed their interaction.
Put a line for you, man. Put it down, brother.
Two men,
Put it down.
one with a gun,
It ain't worth it.
brought life to a halt at Seattle Center this afternoon.
Get on the ground. Put down the knife.
Police say the man on the right, armed with a knife, had just stabbed a woman at the nearby Mod Pizza.
God loves you, man.
She had a 4-year-old with her. Investigators believe that suspect is the child's father.
The man with gun drawn.
And this armed man on the left
Don't do it, dude.
is keeping the suspect here until police can arrive.
So he came out with the knife, blood on his hands, and he was asking the person with the gun to shoot him, to kill him.
Backing away slowly with the gun pointed low. Eventually, the suspect is pepper sprayed.
Take it. Get the knife. Grab the knife.
But the standoff continues.
He said that she took away his kids, and he has no reason to live. She stabbed her in the neck.
It's probably a Mod Pizza.
And when officers arrive, the man was tased and arrested. That bystander with a gun didn't fire a shot. Leaving many glad this armed walk through the park didn't end much worse. In Seattle, Michael Crow.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. Obviously, it's absolutely freezing. Again, if you're new around here, just make sure you subscribe. And until next time, my name is Harmon, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy and stay safe.